All right, y'all, the New York Post has a really interesting piece that I want to walk you through here. Inside the rotting skeleton of Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express plane that still holds dark clues about the perv's abuses, okay? So, I didn't know this, but this thing has been basically sitting in a junkyard since 2016, but they got access to it. And there are some hidden, dark, disturbing secrets there, okay? Jeffrey Epstein's infamous Lolita Express private jet has been rotting in a Georgia boneyard for a decade, but dark reminders of the late pedophile's depraved lifestyle still remain frozen in time. The Post uncovered the eerie evidence this week during a rare tour of the 133-foot-long Boeing 727, which Epstein once used to shuttle his young sex trafficking victims around the globe, according to prosecutors. New photos show the jet corroding and falling apart on an outdoor slab where it has been left exposed to the elements for years. Look at this. Holy shit. Wow. Guys, that's only a decade of it sitting there. And this shit truly is falling apart. Holy shnikes, that is crazy. Oh my days. What even led to like the black shit on top? What even is the black shit on top of it? Like the streakiness and the black shit? That's what 10 years out there will do that to it? What is that, mildew or some shit? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Here we go. They say insects and mildew, I guess it is mildew. Insects and mildew coat parts of the once luxurious, interior. Okay, so I don't know what is on the exterior, which features a bedroom, 3 separate sitting areas, a kitchen, and 2 bathrooms, all finished with polished wood, high pile carpeting, and other upscale features. The plane N908JE, the last 2 digits, a nod to the perv's initials, ferried former President Bill Clinton, ex-Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, and other VIPs. You can tell, by the way, that this was written by the New York Post, and it's a right-wing outlet, because they mention Bill Clinton and Larry Summers, and they don't mention Donald Trump. They went out of their way to mention the ones that are associated more with the Democrats than any associated with the Republicans. It was also used for sex trafficking Epstein's victims, and Virginia Giuffre recounted being raped on board. Jesus Christ. All right, so here we go. Ghislaine Maxwell massages Epstein's feet aboard the Lolita Express. Brown upholstered passenger seats in a lounge area of the plane. So this is in the exact same spot, Epstein getting his foot rubbed by Ghislaine Maxwell. Don't know what year this is, but it looks to me more like, it doesn't look like 90s to me. It looks like 2000s, okay? And then if I scroll this way, this seat on our left is the same seat that he was getting his feet rubbed in. That's kind of eerie, isn't it? Like you could tell the, I mean, it could be just the lighting, but it looks like it's become a little discolored over the years, right? Like it's a lighter color here. Look at the armrest. It's a lighter color here. And then when I go this way, you can see it's a darker color. But then again, the carpet on the ground is different, so maybe he upgraded it since this picture was taken. You know, it looks like he probably upgraded it a little bit since that picture was taken. Oh my God, look at this, guys. Disturbingly, among moldy shaving cream cans, used toothbrushes, and orange and yellow hair ties, the Post discovered Johnson's brand baby lotion and baby powder tucked into bathroom cabinets. Other spine-chilling remnants include a disassembled satellite phone hidden in a nightstand, dirty towels, and paper napkins monogrammed with the tail number of Epstein's private plane. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Johnson's brand baby lotion and baby powder tucked into bathroom cabinets. Ugh. Oh, I don't want to know what that was used for, bro. I don't want to know. Oh, my God. Because there are mentions of babies in the files. There are mentions of actual babies. All right, what do we have here? Napkins that have, like, the plane number on it. Oh, this is gross, but you see the baby powder here. You see shaving cream, some other liquid. I see deodorant, toothbrushes. There's just, like, cotton swabs or something. Comfort bath something over here. God, all this was just left in the plane? What the fuck? What the fuck? Baby powder and napkins monogrammed with the tail number. Okay. Bill Clinton sits in Epstein's office chair with an unidentified female on board the jet. Was this Virginia? I think it might have been Virginia. Epstein's red office chairs with reupholstered red velvet walls. So here we go. This is Clinton sitting on the plane here. And his seat is red there. But now if we go this way, not just the seat's not the only thing that's red here. Now the wall is red too. Somebody turned this red. It's interesting because I feel like the exterior looks a lot worse than the interior, don't you? So here's the Clinton one. And then, like, if you look at this, I wouldn't guess based off this picture right here that this has been sitting in a junkyard for 10 years. This looks like it's in half decent shape from here, you know? Stacks of crisp black and white linen placemats neatly stored in a gallery cabinet offered yet another reminder of the jet's former luxury and the sinister purpose it reportedly served. Entering through the always open rear staircase, visitors are hit with a nose-curdling, musty stench worsened by southern humidity and near total darkness, as the plane has been without power since its final flight in July 2016. Just inside a sleek bathroom where the baby products were found sits immediately to the left. A few steps ahead lies the jet's lone bedroom, where 3 emergency air mats dangled overhead, while a king-size mattress was still neatly made with a plush white comforter. That's kind of creepy. Still fucking neatly made. That's, oh God, I don't even want to know the things that happen in this bed, bro. Do not even want to know the things that happen in this particular bed. King-size bed, okay. Here we have, looks like a phone, 2 phones, an air call phone, a regular phone, and then I don't know what this yellow thing is. Huh, interesting. Bill Clinton with an unidentified female on the jet, lounge area outside the... See, it's funny. They're going out of their way to just do the pictures with Bill Clinton. But you know there's a whole bunch of Republicans, too, that they're refusing to... That's why the fucking New York Post is so dishonest. Here we go. But there you go. Here's another angle. Another angle of what the jet looks like. I wonder... I mean, nobody bought it, I guess. There was actually reports... If you guys remember, there was reports towards the end of the 2024 campaign that Trump was using Jeffrey Epstein's plane. It was a different one. It wasn't the Lolita Express. This is the Lolita Express. It was a different one that he was using. I believe a smaller one that he was using because his plane needed repair, so they needed a different one, and they rented out a plane that happened to be a plane Jeffrey Epstein had in the past. I remember that story. How many people remember that story? The bed set and padded floors were installed so Epstein and his pals could have sex mid-flight. Jesus. While the former financier also committed many acts of sexual abuse aboard the aircraft, his victims have previously said. Beyond the bedroom, a doorless opening leads into a sitting room adorned almost entirely with lurid red crushed velvet, covering the walls, a couch and 2 armchairs. Only a lone white and beige chair separated by a bright red table escapes the bizarre upholstery. Farther down the cabinet, 2 gray half-moon couches face each other in another sitting room before the galley and kitchen come into view. Photo 1, Jeffrey Epstein sat in his office chair inside the private jet. Photo 2, Epstein's office, flight chair, and table. So here he is. This picture looks like newish. It's kind of creepy. This looks like it was taken in like the 2020s, but it wasn't. Huh. You go this way. Okay, yeah, that's the exact same place he took this picture, huh? Right there. It's like one of his offices. You could kind of see the dust on the table a little bit if you look closely. I mean, this picture makes it look like a night. Like this doesn't look like it was sitting in a junkyard for 10 years. This picture right here, right? Wow. 2 gray half-moon couches face each other in a sitting room. A final seating area separating the kitchen from the cockpit features plush couch-style benches and armchairs, a long wooden table and mirrored walls. Today, empty water bottles, an instant coffee can, and other crusted everyday items litter the jet, in which closets, filing cabinets, and drawers still remain stuffed with books and binders containing flight manuals and other aviation documents. Inside the flight deck, a black landline phone with its cord clearly ripped from the wall was found shoved into a drawer. Here you go. So this is the bathroom, clearly. Here's the phone they were talking about, ripped out of the wall. From the outside, dark gray streaks stain the once pristine white fuselage of the jet, which is sandwiched between aircraft formerly owned by John Travolta and disgraced fashion mogul Peter Nygaard. The owner of the Boneyard said the nearly 60-year-old plane will never fly again. It's 60 years old? Good googly moogly. That's crazy, bro. That's so crazy. In part because it was stripped of its 3 engines back in 2016. Oh, interesting. It's in a significantly degraded condition. It sat there for 10 years. It has no engines. Any airplane in that degraded of a condition would never fly again, he told the Post, adding that to repair the plane would be a monumental and costly effort. I always find it so crazy that, like, something like an airplane, it's so complex, it's so expensive to make, and, like, at some point, it just, like, stops being used. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of crazy. It's been sitting in a junkyard, fucking rotting for a decade. It's like, that could have been used by somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just very strange. Unless people have a moral issue of like, I'm not getting fucking near that thing. The bad vibes emanating from this thing are absolutely crazy. According to its title obtained by the Post, the jet was acquired by JEGE Inc., a company tied to Epstein and his convicted sex trafficking accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, per court papers in January 2001. Old photos show Epstein and Maxwell lounging on the plane and Clinton smiling in one of the red chairs. Nearly 18 years later, and just months before his arrest on federal sex crime charges and subsequent suicide, Epstein quietly sold the aircraft to the Medley, Florida-based company World Aviation Services in December 2018. So it last flew in 2016. He sold it in 2018, and here's what it looks like in the cockpit. Wow. And then here's another picture. Looks like mirrored walls back here, doesn't it? That looks like, yeah, it's mirrored walls back here. It's a pretty big fucking plane. The self-described owner of that company, Julio Ramos, declined to comment when reached by the Post. In July 2024, the jet changed hands when it was purchased by Jet Assets Incorporated, a Laramie, Wyoming-based company for which little information is publicly available. The Post could not reach anybody associated with the company for comment. Upon its arrival at the Boneyard in 2016, the plane was initially going to get cut up and scrapped according to the yard owner, but those plans mysteriously changed somewhere down the line. Instead, the dormant aircraft has just been racking up tens of thousands of dollars in storage fees over the years. The owner said he looks forward to the day when he can finally scrap the creepy heap. That's crazy, bro. That's great. By the way, there's some fucking young YouTuber whose whole beat is to like go to creepy abandoned mansions and shit like that and like old theme parks that have shut down. Boy, oh boy, do you have a great video just waiting for you. Sneak into the Georgia fucking junkyard and go into Jeffrey Epstein's plane, and that's a 2 million view video right there, dog. That's what I think that is. But I'm not done, because this is a little taste of the Epstein stuff I have for you today. This is a big deal. So this is in the Telegraph. Jeffrey Epstein paid private detectives to remove equipment from his home and store them in secret storage units across the U.S. Search warrants reviewed by the Telegraph suggest U.S. authorities never raided the lockers, raising the possibility they may contain unseen evidence relating to Epstein and his associates. That is crazy. Paying private detectives to remove equipment from his home and put them in secret storage units. Why would you even do that? That's so weird. Unless those are specifically things you are trying to hide. I don't know, man. That could be some bombshell evidence in those things. All right, we also have this. This is crazy. I did not know this. It's very possible that like 90% of online discourse is totally manipulated. Like just completely, utterly manipulated by some fucking bot farm from Nepal or Nigeria or Bangladesh. Like, and what you're about to see here is Epstein managed his own reputation by paying this company from the Philippines that would have people like fight on your behalf online? This is crazy. This is insane. Watch this.
When Junjun applied for a job at a public relations agency in Manila, he was aware he'd be promoting politicians and was fine with it. But he says his employer wasn't upfront about the extent of the work, which he later realized was essentially being an online troll.
Para sa akin, yung trolling kasi is intentional siya.
Trolling is intentional work. When I was a troll, I deliberately spread disinformation and kept amplifying them. We'd get cash bonuses when we were able to attract many followers on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And when our content and comments get a lot of engagement.
Junjun has left the company, but that's just to hide his identity for fear of reprisal. Many of their clients, he says, were powerful figures. Just as the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was in 2010 when he hired a team in the Philippines to clean up online references about his criminal past. One of the emails released by the U.S. Department of Justice indicates an intense battle with people who undo the team's edits on Epstein's Wikipedia page. Another email suggests some progress 2 months later, when the words pedophile and jail no longer appeared as top results for Epstein.
The Philippines' customer contact and IT services sector has boomed over the past 2 decades, and that's resulted in the development of swanky financial districts like this. But workers here don't just cater to customer complaints. In more recent years, some of these offices have turned into so-called troll farms that serve both local and foreign clients.
Think about how crazy that is, bro. Epstein was able to get like high-level stories from mainstream media sources. He was able to get them killed. There's that famous video of some reporter who worked, I don't know if it was ABC or NBC or CBS or whoever, but she was like, we had the Epstein story ready to go, and then the higher-ups just killed it, right? So he's able to do that. And then he was able to have these like troll farms argue on his behalf and get like search results buried for him. It is crazy how these billionaires can effectively control the narrative completely. And then you stop and you think, oh my God, we've all been manipulated. When you look back from the 2016 election and onward, and you look at the conversations that we're having, it absolutely feels like it's some top-down shit. It's some control shit. It's some like, we want everybody to talk about this. We're going to make them talk about this. Watch this trick, right? I remember back to like the 2012 campaign, I think like Newt Gingrich or Mitt Romney or somebody paid to have like millions of followers on Twitter. Nobody knew it was fake because the number jumped overnight like that. I mean, this stuff has gotten more and more sophisticated over the years, and the fact that they could hide the worst stuff about Jeffrey Epstein for so long is just incredible.
Experts say the work outsourced by Epstein may not have been called trolling back then, but could be considered a precursor.
Essentially, what disinformation campaigns now, what they do is to whitewash, right? To scrub the internet off from any negative publicity of a candidate, and instead populate the information ecosystem with very positive messaging.
Misleading and false content have also evolved, from video narratives such as Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s family's 400,000 metric tons of gold, to seemingly coordinated comments like those celebrating the death of a judge of the International Criminal Court, and the use of artificial intelligence.
Who determines what is fake news and what is not? And I believe that that entity or that agency or that body has to be created among the stakeholders themselves so that it can enjoy credibility and independence.
Against the spread of disinformation.
But anti-disinformation advocates say fact-checking and holding social media platforms accountable may not be enough without identifying and dismantling the so-called troll farms. Barnaby Lowe, Al Jazeera, Manila.
So that's fucking crazy to see that, to see how effective this sort of stuff is. By the way, we also have this in the Epstein files. I believe this is what one would call a smoking gun. When I first saw this one, I thought it was fake. It turns out it's not fake. This is absolutely real. So you have an email from Jeffrey Epstein to Masha Drakova, and this is in 2018. Your friend Eliza told me about the project she's doing, researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island. She almost fainted when I told her that person is me. She almost fainted when I told her that person is me. Katia has a law firm, corporate law. She also understands blockchain regulations and ecosystem well. Eliza is film director. She's working on human rights VR movie. Alexandra is an actress and art expert, has business ideas. All of them are smart, high energy, and great. So anyway, him saying, admitting that he has children sent to his island for sex. I mean, again, how do you spin this? Somebody's, it's sarcasm or something, I guess is what people will say. But given everything we know about Jeffrey Epstein, is it? Is it? It seems like it's honesty is what it is. So anyway, this is what I like to call an admission. That looks like an absolute admission to me. So yet again, crazy Epstein updates. And it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going because, as I said, we got millions and millions of files. People can only go through them at a certain pace. We're all only human, so there's going to be more leaks, I think, for months, if not years.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.